Hi, beautiful family. This is Ursula. We just had a wonderful chat in the Facebook chat room, and I just shared how to play the aspect game. And so, thinking that you might not have made it to the chat, or if you want to later review some of the notes that we talked about today, I'm doing this mini recording. So, I'm going to try and record 5 mini videos to go deeper into how to play the aspect game. So as you know, in your soul journey, when you look at your chart, there's 5 aspects to learn how to interpret. The first being conjunctions, and then oppositions, trines, sextiles, and then squares. So those are just 5 aspects that we have to learn as we play this game. So this first little mini video, I just want to talk to you about conjunctions. But before I do that, let me share my screen so that you can access the material and read along if you want in section 6.7, Star Systems Aspects to Planets and Soul Galactic History. And in this section, Julia lays out what the degrees are to create a conjunction, a sextile, a square, trine, or opposition. So you have a nice visual. And I love how she said, some people consider these aspects as the underlying fabric of a birth chart. Don't you love it? So she goes into some beautiful definitions of what it is. And she refers to Astrology 101 for newbies. Okay, but I just wanted to bring us to this idea of we're in section 6.7. But to play the game, jump on in. The water's warm. Okay, so let's start with the word conjunction. Conjunction with a junction. So I have a visual that I want to share with you as well. Here it comes. In case you're wondering, what the heck is a conjunction? I don't even know what that word is. Here it is. Here's my little visual. So as you can see, I have a bowl. And if you have gone to look at where all your conjunctions are in your soul journey, imagine or liken it to a bowl with 2 eggs in it. So I took one egg, cracked it, and put it next to a second cracked open egg. But a conjunction is like this. Merged energy. Look at that energy. There is your conjunction. You've got merged energy. And the key word is integration. Yes, these eggs have integrated so much that I can't find the first egg from the second egg. So, so that's your funny visual and playing the aspect game for conjunctions. Just think of taking 2 eggs and scrambling them, okay? So how do you pull the one egg out from the other now? You can't. The energy is together. So what do I think the lesson is in a conjunction? We're all being called to know thyself. The more we know who we are, where we've come from, and where are we going, it just helps us navigate. So conjunctions are the first place that I'm going to start when I look at doing readings. Conjunctions. And if you remember, when we first look at the distant planets, which are Pluto, start with your Pluto line. Are there any conjunctions? Okay, and then if not, Neptune, any conjunctions? If not, look at Uranus. Any conjunctions? No. Okay, so if you do have a conjunction, let's say in the Pluto line, that you could say, whatever star nation or constellation that is from, that is more than likely your soul origin. Now, reading the chart, if let's say you have 2 conjunctions on your Pluto line, which one do you choose? This is where you have to look at the mathematics of the orb. An orb is basically saying, how close is that fixed star to the planet? So if we're looking at the Pluto line, and let's say we have a conjunction to Andromeda, the constellation, the orb will show how close, or they say in astro speak, how tight of a conjunction or how loose. So mathematically, the closer the orb is to the planet, the more powerful. If you have a loose conjunction, That's okay. It's just saying it's not just sitting right on top. Maybe a little bit of the eggs over this way, but it's still merged energy. It's integrated. All right, let's see. We can also tell about a conjunction that this energy or frequency of consciousness, that this star system is already well integrated in your life, okay? It's already a part of your energy. You want to know why you're different from your brother or sister? Look at and compare your conjunctions. Just start there as a test, okay? Also, there's this idea that potentially there's no remaining karma left in your fixed star conjunctions. That's the typical. And there's always a rule breaker. Well, yeah, but if you have a lot of squares or oppositions, you may have more karma. But typically, if you see a conjunction, you can say, oh, that energy is so well integrated that it's a part of me. So I'm playing with that energy. And for me, I just want to take off my glasses and cry. If I ever wanted to know who my soul family was, the strongest likelihood would be looking at the star nations that I'm conjunct with. I mean, imagine a big round table and you're seated and you want to say, hey, cousins, family, come on in. Invite those star nations that you have conjunctions with. Okay. I also liken this not just to family linkage, but it's your support team. You can call upon them. And if you have more than one conjunction, again, focus on the one that's closest to that planet with an orb. All right, so if you are like me, I'm going to share a little bit more with you. This you can end here or you can keep listening, but I have 3 primary conjunctions and I just wanted to share my personal stuff so that you can say, oh, what does she mean with all this? So let me share my screen and share my first conjunction, or one of the 3. Here we go. I'm going to go to this one. Okay. These are from a card book called The Book of Stars. And our wonderful classmate, Anne-Marie, she shared this information with me, so I had to go get my cards. Oop, you can see my cheat sheet. By the way, it's good for you to see this. So my old way of learning, I put these in my purse, so when I'm sitting at a traffic light, maybe I'll look. Conjunction, Canis Major, okay, the big dog. And then I just put a little footnote that my Mars is conjunct Sirius A. It's the tip of the dog's nose, okay? So he's chasing the rabbit, Lepus. But it's good for me to see in the stars, where is Canis Major? This is an old picture of him. And a little bit of information on Canis Major. He's known, this Sirius A star is known as the sparkling star or the scorching star. It's basically the brightest star in the sky. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that's one of my conjunctions. And I went ahead and I wrote a little bit more out about Canis Major being the great dog. He follows his master Orion and chases the rabbit. You get the term dog days of summer, July 3rd through August 11th, based on this star. So do you see what I'm doing? I am doing a little research just on a little, what is this, 2x3 card? And I just wanted to know a little bit more. And there's various stories in the sky about this constellation and star. So Canis Major in Mesopotamian temples, the dog was included. In Egypt, way back to 3285 before Christ, Egypt would look at this star rising, Sirius, because it would flood the Nile. So they were so happy when they saw Sirius. In fact, that's perhaps why the 3 pyramids of Giza are all aligned with the stars of oh, I got that wrong. I better edit that out. That's another constellation coming up. Okay, so that's my cheat sheet. And I'm sorry about stumbling on that, but let's see if there's one other point that I want to make. Nope, there we go. Sirius is the nose. Okay, who else do I have a conjunction with? Aha, we probably don't know this constellation as well, but it's a rather interesting picture. And it is, the constellation is called Auriga. And I have a conjunction to Auriga at my midheaven by the fixed star Capella. So then I started looking, where's Capella? And I found it. It's basically the little she-goat that the shepherd or charioteer, Auriga is known as the charioteer in the sky, but the she-goat was suckled by Zeus. In other words, the great god Zeus had a connection with drinking the milk of the goat, the she-goat, and Capella means nanny goat, but the star is right on her nipples. So there you go. And the horn of the she-goat is oftentimes known as cornucopia or the horn of plenty. Why do I have fun learning about these stories? Well, if I have a conjunction going back to these scrambled eggs, then I know in some way I can access this star on the nanny goat's breast and bring in perhaps this idea of prosperity. Okay, my third conjunction, here it comes. This is Orion. Okay, so Orion's one of the most well-known constellations in the whole night sky, right? So here he is. And so I wrote down conjunction, Orion, and I have a conjunction to the Orion Nebula. Both of them are at my midheaven. So in astrology, see this little circle with a tail on top? That means conjunction. So I have a conjunction with Orion, and then I wrote out the various little stars. And on the back of my cheat sheet, I wrote the stars and I wrote the orbs so I can see just how close of an orb. With Bellatrix in Orion, the orb is 2.00, so 2 degrees. But with Mintaka, Alnilam, or Mesa, it's a closer orb, 0.33 minutes, 31 minutes, 45 minutes. And then I wrote down, oh, where is Bellatrix? Oh, Bellatrix is at the shoulder of Orion. Mintaka is on the belt as well as Alnilam. So these were known as 2 of the 3 magic pearls of his belt. And this other one, Mesa, sits basically in the face of Orion. So then again, the nice thing about these cards, Orion as the warrior with his club, and this is supposed to be his trophy of a dead lion. But here's the 3 stars, and these are the 3 that in mythology and history, those are the 3 stars that align with the Giza pyramids. So earlier I misspoke, but I wrote all this stuff down. And there's lots of other stories about Orion. I'm just giving you a visual. I'm showing you that I'm learning where my stars are. So here's 2 of my stars. Here's one. And then let's see another, the last one. Let's see the face there. And this is why it's so good. Oh, it's in the shoulder. Bellatrix is here. It's in the shoulder that's holding the trophy. So each one of those is going to have some narrative, mythology, and something that I can merge my energy or be more conscious of. So let me stop sharing for a moment. Here we go, I'm back. So that's my little aspect game with my own 3 constellations. Okay, so I've got pictures. Here we go. This is how we begin. Okay. I'm just trying to make a report that looks like this. How do I bring it down into my consciousness? How do I live with it? How do I hold the stories? After all, aren't we all just a collection of narrative? And sometimes that narrative, as we evolve, expands and grows and shifts. We allow ourselves to keep that which resonates still and discard anything that's remaining. I think that's about it. I hope you understand conjunctions. It's usually either 0 degrees or up to an orb of maybe 2 degrees off. But conjunctions, again, this is more than likely a past life, even a future life. I brought this up in the chat discussion, and Julia talks about it in section 6.7. Imagine that, being able to look at your conjunctions and look at, if I get off the timeline of third dimension and fourth dimension and think more holographically, like a matrix within a matrix, and we look at non-linear time. When you look at your conjunctions, consider them as being future lives where your energy is already merged, it's integrated. So knowing yourself, know thyself, track and look at your conjunctions to begin with. And remember, if you see a conjunction at your distant planets or even the closer ones, the sun, the moon, or the ascendant, those will show most recent lifetimes for conjunctions. These will, the distant ones, Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, will show soul origin as your soul came into this solar system. How did it incarnate first? Which star nation? Might just surprise you. All right, well, bye for now. I'll come back in a moment and talk a little bit more about the next aspect, oppositions. Bye for now.